life.
Hi, welcome back to another. Oh, hold on, this is not.
Now you're right.
Here we go.
Now it's good.
Whew. I've really salvaged the production value of this $1,000 podcast.
It should always be angled just a little bit to piss people off, just a little.
So we're like, well. Anyway, welcome back to another episode of the Afterschool Special Club podcast. That's a mouthful.
It's a mouthful. I tried telling somebody what
and
it was, and they were like, they had to repeat it back to me, like write it down.
Like on paper.
It's called this, and I'm like, yes.
Yes.
Or you can call it Ass Club.
Ass Club.
But I don't really recommend putting that into a search engine unless you want a fun time. But not brought to you by us. Brought to you by
no, yeah.
Other people.
Imagine if we get like enough notoriety that people can type Ass Club in and we come up.
I want to be known as that.
That's my goal.
I want to be the first search for Ass Club.
It's like our YouTube channel and then Pornhub. That's how we know we're winning.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where you get the real views.
Oh yeah, we should post this to Pornhub.
Yeah. They need a nice break. They need a break in between.
People do that. I know. I have a couple of friends, like skater friends, who like will upload their like videos to Pornhub, like skate videos. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
And I'm like, I love that for them.
Skate Hub.
I wonder if that exists.
I mean, Parking Hub exists. It's like
what
areas. So it's a website devoted to like areas where you get a good parking, or like you look at an area, like a spot on the street, and you're like, wow, that's great parking. And you get like a hard-on from the parking spot. It's called Parking Hub.
Not my experience in San Francisco, for sure.
No, it doesn't take place in the city, obviously. Nothing gets filmed here, not in the city.
No, God, no.
Mm-mm.
You need a permit. This is California. You need permits to film anywhere.
You need a bear. You need a pet bear.
Yeah, we don't really have a run of show for this.
No, it's just completely off the cuff. This is casual conversation, really. But
should I do this and see if I'm skilled enough to put a animated graphic in there?
Yeah, but can you put like a penis?
I just blurred out, but it's like a penis
nudity.
going across the screen. Definitely violates the terms of service.
See if you can do something with this.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
So let's see, today's what, Saturday? So yesterday, Nier Replicant came out.
Yeah.
Well, like, came out. The remake came out.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, I have to keep reminding myself that for most people, this is the first time they're playing it.
I mean, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
This will be the first time I'm playing it as well. And I'm guessing it's going to be a different experience, but hopefully still authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's funny, like, because Replicant, like, for anyone who doesn't know, with the first game of Nier, there were two versions released. Replicant was, like, the Japanese only, where you're playing as, like, a brother, and it's about you and your sister. But then Nier Gestalt, which was the other one, was, like, the overseas. I don't know if it was, like, just North America or, like, European, or if it was just, like, all overseas, was Gestalt, where you're playing as a dad. Which, I don't vibe with that dynamic, so, like, I never have played that one. It was only released in Japan, so, like, I've played it in Japanese, because I have studied Japanese and have enough proficiency. There were some parts that were kind of really hard to understand, so I'm, like, looking forward to playing it in English, just to, like, get to those parts and see, like, have a full understanding, because, like, obviously I'm well-versed in the lore of Nier. I've done my research. I've read the facts. I've read a Google Doc someone compiled that it's like 100 pages long of like the lore of Nier.
I want to imagine their life and where they're at. Like,
God, that should have been me making that Google Doc.
Yeah.
It could be now. I mean,
ask if you can join it. Join the Google Doc.
And it's like, can I edit? Can I get permissions to edit? And they're like, why?
You need a lot of edits. They're like, bah!
I'm like, terrible grammar. I'm like, take it from someone who teaches English or has taught English.
And then you like do the edit, but you do one word.
Just
and then
one word.
They have to find it. That drives them crazy.
Oh my God. I go in and I delete like one word.
Yeah.
And they have to find it.
Yeah, because like now they've spent all this time and they're like obsessed. They're like, where's the word I need to edit?
And then I'm like, I didn't remove any words actually. And they're like, ah!
I'm gonna end it.
They just delete the whole document. Yeah. I'm like, guess I have
now I have to step in and be that person.
But yeah, I'm super excited. I love that game so much. I already texted you, but I'm like, I'm so emotionally invested. I've only played 3 hours.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing it. Especially the free copy that you got for me.
Yeah, I pre-ordered it, obviously, and they sent me 2, and I was not charged for the second one, so I gave it to Mary, because I've been, like, trying to strong-arm her into playing Nier, and putting all of her other games aside. So.
You can't see this, but he's hired someone to intimidate me.
Oh, yeah.
Great. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's his buddy.
Yeah.
Can you see him? No, he blends in.
This is our couch.
He is between us, but you can't see him on the couch. It's too dark.
He's too chill.
He's vibing.
He's vibing. No, but I am looking forward to it. I've only played Nier Automata.
Yeah. Oh, which is also so good.
Yeah, that game is very psychological.
Mm-hmm.
It fucks with you.
Yeah.
And emotionally, it's like it pulls you in. And you're like,
yeah.
Huh. And it makes you feel guilty for being a human.
Yeah.
So I'm fascinated by this one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a go.
It does. It really makes you think. Yeah. And it's actually like kind of similar. In like you know in Automata how you like equip like chips or whatever to your operating system.
Yes.
I'm like, because again, I actually, because you can change languages in Automata, I played it in Japanese. So again, I don't know like what in English.
Oh, gotcha.
So I'm like, you put chips in your operating system, right? Pretty much.
That sounds correct.
I know that if you take there's one that if you remove it, it's like your like RAM or something. It kills you, and then you get like G ending or something, whatever it is.
I've seen that.
Which is funny. This one, and like I realized like how like they kept some mechanics like similar like from Nier into Automata in that way, because in Nier you get words.
Mm-hmm. My favorite.
You get words from killing enemies.
Yeah. You get to spell a word.
Yeah, it'll be like you obtained goo.
G. Oh, you have to spell it out. It's
yeah.
like typing to the dead.
And they give you like, you can equip them in your grimoire to like weapons, magic, sometimes both, and they give you like buffs. It's like 2% magic, like plus 2% magic, or like plus 3% attack. So it can do the same thing like in Automata, where like you could like aggregate a bunch and it would like make you super buff.
Yeah.
So
that's the dream.
Yeah, and it was funny because I was like, oh yeah, I was like, they kind of translated that mechanic into Automata, which I thought was cool.
So I get to reverse it. I get to back up, reverse it. What's that song?
You get to, all I remember is flip it and reverse it.
That. Yeah, I get to do that with the game, which I'm excited for. Because I remember it having a huge influence on me.
Yeah.
Nier Automata, talking about.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to devote time. I promise. I will devote time to this. All the games like crying out in the background. You still have to play.
It's on record. You promised. You promised. You're gonna cut the cameras.
I'm going rogue. Got spotted.
Who's that? I'm like, it's me. You're like a baby with like no object permanence.
What's that? I'm like, where's my mom?
I'm scared. Literally me playing through Nier because I'm just so emotionally attached. This is like, I love, like the characters are so good. And like, I'm super excited to get Emil. He's my favorite.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And you get to see him like his origin, because he's in Automata as like a merchant or whatever, like the harp.
Small character in that.
Yeah. But you get to actually like go to his mansion and like find him, and he has really cool abilities. I won't spoil anything, but he has really cool abilities.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to that Google Doc page, and that's gonna be my spoiler.
That's the funny thing is like on that Google, I should see if I can find it, because it gives you literally like the background of like.
Does it look like the Matrix? Just like.
It's got one of those like stylized like video game logos in like a text format, like old Game Facts.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, Game Facts.
Oh my god.
You got me through so much.
Right? That's how I got through Final Fantasy X.
I remember there was a really interesting period of my gaming life where we didn't have the internet, we didn't have the internet.
Yeah.
So I had to use Wi-Fi, but it was someone else's Wi-Fi in another house, but it was open, and I was like a teenager.
Before we were safe and locking our Wi-Fi networks.
I don't know what 2000s year this was, but it was a 2000s year, and
Wow.
I remember trying to look up codes. It was like just cheat codes.
Yeah.
For I think Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say it was probably GTA.
San Andreas. So I was trying to look
So
up
good.
cheat codes for that, but I was doing it from the only thing that I had. I didn't have a laptop. Like I didn't have like anything.
Yeah.
Like, I think I had a computer, but it wasn't working at that time. Anyway.
Your
So
Windows XP.
Yeah. So I basically had a PSP. So from the PSP, I
No.
went on the internet.
I forgot that you could do
It
that.
was the worst interface. With the little the analog stick that they had.
Right.
You'd have to like drag it over, and like the mouse would like it would take forever, and then you would have to search the search bar.
Oh,
Yeah. So I was looking up cheats on GameFAQs,
Yeah.
and Cheat Code Central. That was one too.
Oh my God.
Cheat Code Central.
I feel like I was doing the same thing on my not a smartphone, like my flip phone or like my one of those like
BlackBerry?
slide up phones.
BlackBerry.
No.
What?
It wasn't a BlackBerry, but it was one where like it slid up and it was a touchscreen. It slid up and it had the full keyboard.
Dang. All right, you were.
I was balling. That was my post chocolate era. I had all of the except for a Razor. I wasn't cool enough.
See, I wanted a Razor.
Yeah,
Like
I wasn't
I
cool
wanted
enough.
the red Razor.
Yeah.
I think they did that for the Drive or like
Yeah.
the whatever foundation.
Yeah.
They did the red one. All right. Well, no, I was working with my PSP, and I was like upstairs. Like I had to go at the top, like of my house,
Like in
my
a
brother's
corner,
room.
like out the
Yeah.
window.
Like it wouldn't work unless I was in this very specific area in my brother's room. So it was my brother's room.
Oh my
So
God.
like I'd just be in there and he'd be like, "Get out!
Get out of my room!
I'm trying to go."
I'm on the internet on my
Anyway.
PSP.
Those were dark times, and
Woo!
I remember like getting frustrated when they would kick me because it would kick me off, like because it wasn't my Wi-Fi. So they kicked me off eventually. But that brings me back to like doing
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I forgot that I did that. That was harsh.
God, definitely for GTA. I remember making your car fly.
Yeah,
That was my favorite.
I loved spawning like the airplanes, like the
Yeah.
helicopters all at once, and just like, and then the game would glitch out and then,
Yeah.
like, stop. I'd be like, satisfaction.
How did anyone like QA test that? Because literally, you can just like that's one of those like games where you can just break it
Yeah,
easily
you're,
by
like,
doing that.
Kind of supposed to a little bit. Like, they
Do you
don't
think
really
that's
care.
why cheat codes exist? Is for QA testing?
Maybe. I mean, I have no experience with QA. I want to.
Right.
I want to have experience with QA, but
Please hire us.
please, we need the job. I'm still using my PSP. But I would imagine that had something to do with it. The origin story behind cheat codes. Man, that's an interesting story. I have no idea.
I thought you were gonna tell me. You're like, that's an interesting story.
Let me get my tome, the video game tome.
Oh.
So it flies away. I'm like, nope, that's it. It's so mysterious
Oh my
that it
God.
leaves.
Yeah, because I'm just curious. I'm like, I mean, like, and I have obviously no experience or knowledge of like development, but I wonder like if cheat codes exist as like as like a way to access certain features
It's like
in
a
a
road.
game.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a road you go down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Well, especially with that, especially with certain things too, where you think about the types of cheat codes that exist. You're like, oh, like this is like, why would I use this like
Yeah,
as a player?
Like the big head cheat code. Big head was in a lot of them.
Yeah,
They were like, I forget what. I know that GTA had big head, didn't they? And then
I think so.
I think another game that I used to play had big head.
Yeah,
And
or like Sims, how you can literally open the terminal and like type codes in.
yeah. Which I still do in Sims
Oh, yeah.
4. Yeah.
What is it? Rosebud.
Yeah, Rosebud.
What is that? 1,000 or 10,000?
I think it's 1,000.
Motherload is 10,000.
Yes. Yeah.
I can't believe I remember that. I have not played The Sims.
Cheat codes are a major part of like gamer. Like if you grew up being a gamer, like cheat
Yeah.
codes were like I didn't want to play Grand Theft Auto without cheat codes.
Oh no,
Some people prefer that. Some people
That's
don't.
fine.
They're like, we have to keep it
pure.
pure. Yeah.
And I'm like, I came in like a red. Literally, as my car like takes off.
Yeah. So it becomes an airplane. I could never fly in GTA though.
Oh no, I was
I'd go-
so bad.
I'd
I
go
would
up,
die
I'd be
every
like,
time.
"Woo!" And I'd be like, "Woo!"
Yeah, like you would like stabilize for like a second, and then I would just like,
And
and
then
I couldn't save myself.
I would call another plane. I'd be like, cheat code, plane. Cheat code, plane.
For an hour.
I'm like, this game rocks. No, but I think I couldn't really play GTA without codes. Much like I couldn't play Sims without codes.
Oh no, absolutely not.
I like to actually grind out your work.
No.
And, like go to work and make them happy.
And get promoted. Oh yeah, and try to make them happy.
Dude,
Absolutely.
they can never be happy.
They're
like,
literally
like,
insatiable.
Yeah. They're like, I'm hungry. And then you feed them. They're like, I'm stinky.
Yeah, and then I'm like, okay, take a shower. And they're like, I'm not having fun.
Where are the people? Like,
oh, I'm tired now. And I'm like, you.
And they like fall asleep as they're eating. Or they fall asleep as they're going to the bathroom. And you're like, "Argh."
I'm like, I just want to spawn a tombstone and kill you however I want. That's what I would do in The Sims 2 all the time. Because,
Oh, yeah.
or was it Sims 2? It might have been Sims 3. I mean, I don't think you can do it in Sims 4, but I know in at least 2 and 3, or one or the other, you could. There's one cheat code that you can enter where then if you right click on your mailbox, it would give you all of the. Yeah.
That was the, I think it was the second one.
Yeah.
I played on PS2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that was the PS2, yeah. And
Yeah.
that way you didn't have to, enter in them all the time.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah, and I would always do that. I would do the tombstone. I liked to kill by satellite.
Oh, I didn't know that was an option.
Because you can stargaze. You can have your Sims lay in the grass and like.
Oh, with the telescope?
No,
Or
like
no?
just they like just lay in the grass and they'll
Oh.
like look up at the sky and then like 1% chance a satellite just crashes into them. Never happened organically. I always did it via cheat code because I was like, this is great content.
Oh, man, I didn't know that. It's
Yeah.
like a whole other avenue I didn't go down.
Yeah.
I was boring. I mainly just killed them the normal ways.
Yeah. Or I would just like do the one where like you would max out all of their like needs and then like lock it so they wouldn't go down. I think you could do that in Sims 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a lot easier. Because then you could just send them to work and they get promotions. And like,
Yeah.
Not that I didn't needed them because I had money. And
Exactly, because I was mother loading that shit.
I was like, I had like 3 million or like
yeah,
4
in a
million.
mansion, and
Yeah.
I'm like, why am I working?
Yeah, and then I found out that because at first I built like like a crazy house with like all this stuff, like the best TV, the best couch, the best everything.
Yeah.
And then like I started getting fires in my house, and I was like, what is this? And they're like, you have too much stuff in your house.
That's a thing?
Yeah.
No way.
Things just catch fire. When you have too much.
Even
stuff
if
in
you
your
don't
house.
have like a fireplace, right? They just catch on
Yeah.
fire.
And then the fire department kept coming out, and I was like, because then like things kept like just turning into like mounds.
Yeah.
But when I wasn't paying attention, so sometimes there would just be mounds in my house. I was like, what the fuck?
Like, what is that?
Didn't I have my TV here? And then I was like,
It's just a mound.
it's just a mound.
Oh, you wouldn't even notice them catch fire.
Yeah. I was too busy, like, my sim was at work. I was like,
you were like
on
out in
my-
the garden, like mining rocks
on
or
my
something.
PSP,
Yeah.
browsing the web.
Looking up cheat codes. Dude,
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, I used to look up the cheat codes on my phone using the web browser on fucking phone.
That's luxury.
But also like just as bad because
Yeah.
you would have like essentially like a D-pad,
Yeah.
like
And plus, you
trying
like,
to move a mouse around.
you try to like write down the codes and like get the screen like
Yeah.
fixing it. But I would write down all the codes and put it in the box in the game case.
That's smart.
Yeah.
I never did
for
that.
every game.
I was a
Since-
stupid boy.
It happens. It happens. Everybody's stupid sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, that also reminds me, like, around that era of when I was doing that and, like, putting the cheat codes in the game boxes
Yeah.
and everything. Do you remember, I don't know if you had this experience, because I was playing the GameCube and the PS2 at the same time. Like, I would switch
Simultaneously.
Yes. I was
And your
I'm
eyes
a
are like
gamer. I'm like, Animal Crossing, and I'm like Resident Evil. I'm like, no, but do you remember having to switch the cords out for like the yellow, red, white?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Yeah. I'd have to like, and like my TV was so like old and like bricky and like big.
Yeah.
It was hard to move, so I had to like guess, and I would be like,
Yeah.
yeah. And I'd
Oh
be
my
like,
God.
and then I would wait, and then if it didn't like, if it was so
You'd be like,
fuzzy, I was like, no. And like different colors, it was wrong.
Yep.
I was like, I kept
There's-
doing it.
There's what, 9 possibilities? 3 times 3? Is that how math works? Right?
It's my brain.
Right, with combinations.
You got it.
I took an algebra 2 class once, and we talked about what is it? Permeations and combinations.
This is where I bounce
Permutations.
out. Have a good time.
I didn't like algebra. I liked calculus. Says no one.
I love math when
When you get it.
frustrate. Yeah, when I get it. Like when you give me problems and then like I don't know how to do them yet, and or like I just don't remember how to do them. They frustrate the hell out of me because it makes me feel dumb. But
Oh my God! Sorry, finish your story. I just had a flashback memory to something relating to math.
no, but once I'm in it, like I'm in the zone.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
doing
and you're
math,
just like
I'm just like I'm
writing formulas.
Genius.
God.
I'm beautiful, and then like I check it. I'm like, fuck.
Shit. You type it into your calculator and then you're like,
Calculator breaks.
but no, I just had, oh my God. Because I remember in the same Algebra 2 class,
It's a famous class.
we were learning binomial expansion. And I couldn't remember like the formula for how it worked, but binomial expansion is how Pascal's triangle is made.
Oh, yes.
So I, instead of doing the math by hand because I couldn't remember how the formula worked, I just wrote Pascal's triangle out. Because there's like a pattern, right? It's like 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, and then it keeps going. And so like you can do it on the fly, but I was like, fuck, because I needed to get down to like 8 or like 15 or something. So oh my God, I wonder if I still have it. When I go home in August, I'm going to check because I have a box of like stuff from when I was in high school and in college. I saved that sheet of paper from that test because I was like, I fucking wrote Pascal's triangle by hand out to like 20 or something ridiculous.
That's amazing.
And I remember my teacher being like, it's still wrong, but I'm going to give you it because you did the triangle by hand. And I was like, thank you. I was like, it shows that I know I understand the connections.
Yeah.
She was like, you just didn't know the formula, but you understood the concept, I guess. And I was like, thank you for having pity on me.
Do you think that could apply to your life?
Yeah. I'm like, I don't get it, but I understand the connections.
Yeah. I feel like it's a connection. But it's not a connection. But it feels like
But it feels like one.
Yeah. I go to a stranger. I feel like we're connected.
They're like, ew, what?
I'm like, no, there's a connection.
You
connect me. Let's play.
We should just like Connect 4 on the channel. It's just a video of us like silent.
Silent, just like, and then like, and look at the camera.
Yeah, we're like side-eyeing the camera.
And at the end, it's like, and they're like, oh, that was the Connect 4. Join us next time.
Oh my God, wait, that's actually a really good video idea. It's like silent gaming.
Yeah.
And it's just like us, but like we really like look at the camera.
But we're allowed to be frustrated sighs.
Yes, but we can't talk to each other.
Yeah. But like the I'm like people in the comments are like, why does this exist?
Why does this have 1 million views? And I'm like, I don't know. Y'all are the ones watching it.
Yeah, you guys are enthralled.
It's in your hands. I just edit it.
Yeah. No, but getting back to switching out all the like between the GameCube and the PS2.
Yeah.
Like just that in itself.
Right?
Like I would get out my PS2 and I'd be like, I'm gonna play this game, not this game. And I mean, I guess that is a first world problem. I have too many consoles.
Yeah, but like,
yeah.
In retrospect, because now it's just like HDMI cable.
Yeah, I kind of miss the effort.
Well, and now too, every TV has more than one HDMI input. So it's like I have all my consoles hooked up to my TV right now. I just have to change the input. Again, first world problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it was like, oh, did I get the color right? Because I had the same thing. We had one of those box TVs.
Yeah.
And then I remember when we upgraded, my parents got like a flat screen TV and it had it on the side.
Did it feel like an alien in your house?
Yes.
You were like not trusting.
Yeah, I was like, even though it was like one of the first like HD TVs that was like 1080.
Yeah.
I mean, now it's like all that shit's like 20K.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
Like this looks like a hand.
It looks more real than me.
Yeah. That freaks me out. Anyway.
Yeah, but so I remember we got like a flat screen, and then I had the inputs on the side because it had all the ones in the back, but then it had like the auxiliary ones on the side, you know, and they were like HDMI and then like the colors, and I was like, oh, this is so easy now.
Yeah.
I felt like I was living a life of luxury.
So you were doing that in your house, going like and I had a TV fall on me, doing that thing, and it was huge, and no one was in the house.
No.
And I was like a teenager, and like the TV literally was like, I was like, I was like holding it up, and I was like, it's gonna fall on me. I was like, and it was like glass, it was heavy. And I was like, help! And there was no one there. I was like, help! I was like, please help me.
You called for help, but there was no one there.
That's like my life. I'm like, come on, guys. No one.
Guys,
there.
can you help me with this? And there's nobody around.
The ghosts are like, I guess I'll probably. They're like, usually we just haunt you, but we'll help you.
We'll make an exception.
Yeah.
Like
but eventually I mustered up, because I didn't want to die, I mustered up the energy to push it back. And I pushed it back, and I was like, I sat there for a minute, I was like, could I have just died? And I was like, And then my brother came home later. He's like,
You're like, I almost died.
thanks. You weren't here.
He's like,
what were you doing? I was playing my PS2. That's how I would die.
I wanted to play Animal Crossing on the GameCube.
Yeah, I had to switch it.
Oh my god. That happens to me at work sometimes. Like when I'm putting stuff away, like a box, like I'll put a box up and then it'll like fall, but I'll be like doing something, so I'll like lean into it.
Yeah.
I did that the other day with like I had a case of like parchment paper.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like oblong and like kind of heavy, and I was like putting it above my head.
Yeah.
But then I had to like, there was another one, so I had to like lift it.
Oh yeah, put it under, yeah.
And I was like doing this thing, and then it was like sliding towards me. And I was like kind of stuck for a second. My coworker was like, "Do you want help?"
Were you like, no?
No!
Let me do this.
I was like trying to do it like carefully behind her while she was working. She was like,
She's like, let me.
yeah, and I was like, thank you.
Yeah. No, those things are heavy. Yeah, it is crazy. Do you ever have this irrational fear sometimes when I'm holding a knife? Like
That it's just gonna.
that? No. That.
Oh no.
No. But like at work, because we slice cakes, because
We
we work in a bakery.
Yeah.
But that I'm holding a knife the correct way. You're supposed to hold it the correct way.
Right, against your leg.
Not like this.
With the blade behind you.
Yes, not like this, pointed up, going like looking at it. Like,
Someone was doing that the other day in a different department. I saw them. They were like, but they were like being like knife, but they were like pointing it like a fucking like thrasher.
knife.
Yeah, they're like knife.
There's a knife, guys. Like,
I was like, oh my god. I was like having a panic attack
They're
watching
like,
them.
Knife.
Knife.
Look out.
Look out. Watch out.
Well. No, but this irrational fear of, even if I'm holding it the correct way, what if I fall
Right.
while I'm holding it?
Yeah.
And it just tears me up. So I'll rush. I'll kind of like, as I'm thinking about this more, I'm like, my eyes widen. I'm like, knife.
Knife.
Get it out of my hands.
See, I worry about, because we have, like, we have like our case, like our counter, and then there's that like little entryway. There's a knife strip right there, so I worry that that someone is gonna come off of the sales floor and like grab a knife and like try to kill me.
Yeah.
That's what I think about.
I mean,
because it's right there. Someone would literally, all they would have to do is run over the threshold and grab a knife, and it would happen so fast no one could stop them.
Don't get any idea.
I'm gonna. I mean, I was gonna say I have my box cutter on me, but like my 2-inch blade versus like a 12-inch chef's knife.
You're like, her, and you're like, tink,
tink, tink. Watch out!
You extend it more. Like
you have one click.
Yeah, 3 clicks. You're like, fighting.
Oh my god! I was thinking about that. I was like, could I defend myself with a box cutter?
I was thinking that too, but the protector, the safety clip thing.
Right.
Take the safety off.
Safety's off.
This is for my own protection.
Because
it's like the active shooter training that we have to do.
Yeah, I've been putting mine off. Because like, it's not due till July.
What are you gonna do if like do you know what to do?
Run, hide, fight.
See, I know it's run, hide, fight, but I do fight.
Yeah.
I fight, hide, run. But I would do fight, scream, run.
Oh yeah.
I would like try to fight them, then it'd be a bad idea.
Right.
Because I couldn't do that, and then run. Scream.
I feel like run, hide, fight is like my video game mentality. Because I will always err on the side of stealth and like combat where necessary.
Yeah.
And this is of course in games that like have that sort of system. I'm not gonna like not try to fight in a game where like fighting is the main course.
You're like Call of Duty. You're like, I don't want to.
Yeah,
shoot.
I'm a pacifist.
Just try to like run through it. You're like, I'm just playing Call of Duty for the storyline.
Woo!
Yeah.
I'm like playing Dead Space. I'm like, I don't want to fight.
I don't fight. BioShock. I don't need to fight.
I don't need to fight in this game. Yeah, like obviously not, but like, like Last of Us or what are
Uncharted?
Oh yeah, I haven't played Uncharted yet.
Oh, okay.
After I finish Nier though, because I did buy. I'm gonna play through all of them in a row.
I'm curious to see if Uncharted, when you do play through them, I'm curious to see if you like Uncharted like 2 the best. Or I'm just gonna wait for you to kind of tell me which one you like the best. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
People are different. I have a favorite.
It's
But
like
I'm not the
a personality test.
Yeah, exactly. And Uncharted is so like I love Uncharted. Uncharted is one of my favorite series of all time. I want to get a tattoo of Uncharted.
I want to get a Nier tattoo.
Yeah.
We should go together.
Yeah, and then film it and be like, it's like the whole time
film
us
everything.
screaming. Yeah. Like halfway through, they're done with the tattoo. I'm like, I don't want it.
I don't want it anymore.
You just hear,
Take it back.
Can you just get rid of it? Don't you have white out? I'm like, ow, it fucking hurts.
Got white out under my skin. Ow.
Hospital, please.
But no, and I can't pay for it.
But no, lift, not an ambulance.
Not an ambulance. It's
Yeah.
not an emergency.
Yeah.
I'm like, nothing is an emergency. I'm not taking an ambulance.
Yeah.
They're like, you're
I'm
bleeding
walking.
out. And I'm like, I'm walking.
Yeah, I'm walking there.
I'm like, I
There's
live
no way.
between two hospitals.
I went to the hospital once, and they told me, they basically gave me like a tap on the head and be like, you'll be all right for $3,000.
Yeah.
So I'm not about to risk that. American healthcare. Anyway, we were talking about Uncharted. So I'm curious to see which one is your favorite. It is kind of like a personality test because it is so close to me.
Yeah.
That I'm curious.
It's right here.
It's right here. It's right. I'm like here. I'm like, what
On
if I
this
didn't
side.
think where my heart was? I was like, here. It's right here.
You're like, I have my heart, and then Nathan Drake is right here.
In the middle.
It's like, right.
Stuck in the middle. That sounded like Elvis saying that. I did like an Elvis impersonation.
Stuck in the middle with...
Anyway.
Yeah, I'm excited to play.
Yeah.
I know I'll like it. And that's all I have
That's
to say
all I
about
got.
that because I
That's it.
haven't played any of them yet.
Okay, I will say one thing. Be patient with the first one.
Okay.
Be patient. It was the first one.
Right, it's the first one.
Be patient. There are parts of it where, like, I was replaying it and I was like,
Can I play them out of order?
mm.
They're actually related.
I'm like, that hurt my Nathan Drake in the
Yeah.
middle. I was like,
my
ow.
Nathan Drake in the middle.
He was like, no.
Because they're actually, like, related.
Yes.
Okay.
The storyline is continuous.
It's not a near situation.
It's like you watching, I've seen Game of Thrones?
I've watched Game of... Listen.
Season 8 is horrible.
Season 8... This is not the space for this conversation.
No.
I will say, though, I remember when Season 8 came out. This is when we still worked together.
Yeah.
And just, like, the outrage, like, because that was also when Eva still worked there, and she loved Games of Thrones.
Can that be like Games of... They just have thrones and, like...
Musical Thrones.
Yeah, they're putting it places. They're like, the Games of Thrones.
The Games of Thrones have begun!
Who will get the last one? Who will sit in the thrones?
Woo!
Woo! Yeah, that was a huge disappointment. But it's like if you watched Game of Thrones out of sequence, right?
Yeah.
Like, just like
Sorry, I'm just thinking about Games
of Thrones.
Yeah, like if I watched
Like if you
those
watched
seasons out of order.
If you like started like the Red Wedding. It's like
As my
first episode. And you're like, wow.
I watched that, and then I watch like season 6 where like Arya's blind.
Yeah.
And I'm
You're
like, sure.
I'm like, is this supposed to? Like everyone's like, wow, storytelling before the 8th one. Everyone's wow, the storyline is so good, and like the storytelling.
I'm like,
you're
I don't get it.
It's not that good.
I'm like, she's putting on faces.
Yeah.
That season is my favorite because of that storyline.
That was really cool, but
Yeah.
they didn't use it.
Yeah.
They didn't use it, but
I
yeah,
know.
I
know.
yeah. But it was.
I know.
It was awesome. It was cool.
What we should do on this channel is just remake season 8 the right way.
Yeah.
Do
Do you guys trust us with this?
I'm like, $50 billion budget, $50 bajillion budget versus our
zero budget.
Logitech Pro Stream
We just take
1080.
it. We're just like, we have Buddies the dragon, cat.
we can put the camera on a hat.
Yeah, GoPro. Let's GoPro it.
Yeah,
It's interactive.
So choose your own adventure.
Yeah.
Welcome to Games of Thrones.
We're just on the Golden Gate Bridge. That's like the Great Wall.
Woof! I'll have to really up my editing skills.
Got a lot of
stuff to key in. Oh my god.
What would you have liked to happen at the end of Game of Thrones? Like, what would you have liked? Like Jon Snow, like all the main hitters. What would you have liked to actually happen. Jamie, what would you like to happen with Jamie?
Fuck.
I have so many questions.
I've like, I must say I almost have blacked out. Well, I haven't blacked out yet, but I don't really remember season 8 because it was so bad. I kind of like.
Yeah, no, I don't remember. I just remember the last episode.
Yeah, same, pretty much.
Yeah. So I like Jamie and Cersei. They die together.
Right.
As they embrace, and then.
See, okay.
I love how like we said we were gonna talk about something else, but it just become this.
Right. Well, because now I'm just
What
like.
happens?
This is something that I don't like when people do this with narrative, where they take a character like Jamie and they spend all this time like sort of redefining his character as a person.
Yeah.
And then like just like they did with everything else in season 8, just be like, oh, just kidding.
Yeah. They're like, actually?
Yeah. Because I was like, I would have loved to see him like alive and like happy and like doing his thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like they spent all that time cultivating this like, you
Redeemed
know, like
man.
redeemed man. He's a better person. Like, and like you believe that, and then to have them just be like, oh, like just kidding. He's back on his fuckboy sleep with your sister boy.
Yeah, right?
Bullshit.
Because he found love. Like he found genuine like
Yeah.
love that like they just
Brienne of Toth.
yeah, she just loved
I
him.
love her.
Like unconditionally.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm gonna give all that up to die in a little crumble accident.
Right.
So stupid. I just cut. It's like this, it's the end of it. It's like it turns into a jump scare video. That was the longest jump scare video we've ever made.
It's like 20 minutes in or whatever, and then there's a jump scare.
Yeah.
That would be, I mean, that would get him because
That
there
would
was
get 'em.
that you have no reason to believe that there would be jump scares.
That's right.
I'm not going to edit a
Just-
jump scare.
Oh, no, I was like, come on, Chris.
Damn it!
Do it.
You have to do it!
Yeah. Do it.
Do it, loser!
If you don't, you have to watch Game of Thrones season 8.
No!
Start to finish.
All in one
all
day.
the episodes, yeah. And then you have to be interviewed by me going like, so what did you like?
I'll be like, is that a... Wait, hold on. I'm getting a call.
The can is telling me.
Oh.
Oh. Hello? The call is coming from upstairs.
Oh, no, it's your creepy neighbor.
Yeah. He's like, what are you doing?
He's like, I have another couch.
I'm gonna keep it in the stairway for a while.
Oh, no, there's rats in it.
That's not where you store couches. You know the movie. Well, I was about to say, do you know the movie? That's for another day. We're gonna test out Chris's movie knowledge. Anyway, there's this movie called The Machinist with Christian Bale.
Mm-hmm.
Except I want to have a movie called The Masochist
With Christian Bale.
With Christian Bale, because he is a masochist. He's like,
Yeah.
I'll lose that weight. I'll lose 100 pounds. I'll gain 100 pounds. I'll lose 100 pounds.
Honestly, like, actors who do that, I'm like, I can't imagine.
I've lost 100 pounds in my lifetime, like just once.
Yeah.
That took me a long time.
Right.
I'm still recovering from that.
I'm like, how is it healthy for them to, like, go on those, like, crazy diet? Like, because you hear about, like, people eating, like, nuts and water so that they could lose enough weight to look, like, emaciated for a movie. I'm like, I would rather die than do that.
Yeah, but I think that's why, like, mainly, I feel like those are method actors. They're, like, or actresses, you know. I
Right.
feel like they just... They're a squirrel. Boop. That's it. Yeah, because Christian Bale's diet for that was... Because he got down to, like, 90, 80
Oh,
pounds?
God.
80 pounds? Something like that?
He's, like, tall, too, right?
Yeah, he was skeletal.
Skeleton crew.
Yeah. But he ate apples, canned tuna, and like leaves, like salad.
Leaves,
Nothing on
just
it.
leaves off the
Yeah,
ground.
it was like spit, like leaves.
Just like maple
Just
leaves.
like maple leaves. Just like on the grass. Like, come on, Christian, come on.
Come on, Christian, come on. Come on.
This agent's like,
Just one of the dog whistles.
he's like, Christian Bale, I'm sorry.
If you're watching.
You've got anger issues. I don't want to piss you off. Piss him off more.
He smalls you.
Yeah.
How did we get here?
I don't know. I'm glad we're here though.
What were we talking about before Game of Thrones?
Originally, we were talking about the TV falling on me, and then we were talking about math at some point, and then I think we were talking about We should have what is it, that person who records like trials? That job where they go
really fast and really accurate, which I have no idea how it's possible. Exactly. I make so many typos.
Yeah, me too. But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We should hire I was about to say a cryptologist.
We should hire a cryptologist. Yeah. We should have a cryptologist on the show.
They're like, what am I doing here?
And I'm like, I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah. Is there going to be a death?
What are they? Court stenographer?
Yeah.
Right?
Stenographer, yeah. Yeah. We should hire one of those.
Then we can have closed captions.
Yeah, instead of it going like...
I wonder if we turn like the automatic captions on, what they would say.
So I did that for the first episode.
I'm scared.
So mine, it doesn't say anything because you can't hear me. So it'll say like words like blah.
It'll just be like ant.
Yeah.
Cat.
Blah. And then yours was good because you enunciate.
Because I'm loud.
Well. Yeah, you speak well. My voice is soft, like
butter.
Summer rain. Like butter.
Like butter rain.
Yeah, butter rain.
You.
I'm like, and like I immediately regret it. I'm like, oh no. Take up like a bread roll. I'm like,
oh, gross. It's like butter, but it's like, because we're in the Bay, it's like smoggy butter. Yeah. Like city pollution butter.
Carl, the buttery fog.
Oh, yeah, the fog's rolling in. It's just a butter cloud.
His sound is like, ugh. I don't know how we got onto this, but like I said, I'm happy that we're here. So we were talking about Nier.
Yeah. How could I forget my child?
Yeah.
Also, that game, you're allowed to name the main character.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do they actually say it?
Well, no.
Okay.
There is voice acting, but like, no.
See, I wonder when games are going to get to that point where you're going to name a character and they're going to like say it in the cutscene.
I'm just imagining it's like a person voice acting, and then when the name shows up, it's like when you ask Google Translate to read a word out loud.
Yeah.
But no, they don't do that. But it is actually cool while we're on that topic, because there's voice acting in the cutscenes, and then there's actually voice reads of the text in cutscenes.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's like not like it's so like there's like cutscenes, but then there's like sequences of dialogue between the characters, but they still have voice acting, and they just won't say your character's name.
Oh, okay.
But they like make it like they do it in such a way where it's not like they're talking and then it's just like silent, you know?
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. God, yeah, I'm just so excited.
Yeah, I'll give you my honest opinion of it.
You're like,
butter.
I would be so sad. Not gonna lie.
I'm
like, putting a lot of pressure on you.
I'm on the phone. I'm like with you, and you're like, so how do you like it? I'm like, and then you just hear like any trepidation in my voice, or, like any stalling.
And I'm like, how do you like it?
I'm like, it's good.
It's good.
It's like,
I'm like, oh, what do you like about it? And you're like,
the music.
The music. And I'm like, oh my God, I know, right?
And then I'm like, yes, I got it.
I do fucking love the soundtrack.
It's
so good.
The soundtrack seems really good. That's why I mentioned that. I was like,
yeah.
It's really good.
You know I'm a slut for sound.
I'm a sound slut. I'm a sound slut.
I'm a sound slut. I'm a slut for sound. Yeah. I love good video game soundtracks.
To sounds.
I love sounds.
I just love to go out in the street and just like listen. I'm like, oh.
And then I just harmonize with everything.
Yeah. I'm like beep 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 beep
beep beep beep beep beep.
Woo!
Yeah, no, it's a really great soundtrack. Made up language. Well, sort of. Not in the like Hobbit sense.
I was about to say like, is this like?
No, it's like
Tolkien.
Right. No, it's like not like actual language, but it's like it's a mixture of. Did I ever send you? Because there was a PlayStation podcast about this.
Oh, cool.
I
just hear a PlayStation podcast. I'm like, I'm into that.
Yeah, well, and it was because they were talking about like the music of Nier. I think I don't remember if they had Emmy Evans on, and she's like one of the main female voices. She's the only female voice in the first game, and then she's one of them in Automata.
Mm-hmm.
But they either had her on or they were talking about like the process of writing the music and how like they drew phonetics and phonology from foreign languages, or not foreign, but like languages.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like would write songs using those and would use certain languages to emulate certain feelings, which is like so cool.
It's very cool.
And excuse me, you definitely hear it when you listen to the songs on the soundtrack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It's like a work of art. It is a work
It
of
is
art.
a work of art.
Well, most video games are works of art.
Yeah.
Except for some video games where I'm like, that's not a work of art.
I'm like, sorry, this is not a work of art.
Trash. But then again, they took all the time to make artwork in a game. So technically
Right.
it is still artwork.
It's still artwork.
Yeah.
Wow.
So all these like art snobs that are like, video games are art.
I'm
That's
like,
what they sound like. Video games.
video
are-
games ain't art.
They're not art. Me first video game.
The first video game I ever played.
Yeah. Yeah. They're all beautiful works of art. Some more than others. And Nier seems like top of the peak.
And it definitely, like, I mean, because, like, knowing what the first game is, there's, like, definitely, it's cool because there's, like, a build-up. Because it's, like, I know, like, what you get to.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, ah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because, like, I always have, it's a very similar feeling to, like music where, like, do you ever, there's, like, artists or songs where, like, I wish I could hear this for the first time again, but you can't.
Every time. Like Phoebe Bridgers.
Yes.
I would love to listen to her first album again for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember, because I remember you showed me Motion Sickness, the music video.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I should listen to her solo stuff. Because I knew about her from Boy Genius,
Mm-hmm.
which is how I discovered those 3 artists. But then you were talking about Phoebe Bridgers, and I was like, oh, I'll, like, listen to her album. She only had that first one at the time. And I remember just being like, fuck, this is so good.
Yeah.
And I wish I could listen to it again.
So the technology has to be created to erase our memories, right?
And be able to put them back,
Put them
though.
back. But that
I want to
that's
keep
a big
them.
risk. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to keep them.
It's like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind,
Sure.
but without
I've literally never even seen that.
that's gonna be the movie. Because that movie's so out there. We're gonna get back to that.
Yeah.
We're gonna get back to that. I'm not gonna say anything more.
Okay.
About that. But yeah,
And that's that on that.
that's that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that album. What's your favorite song on that album?
Scott Street.
I love Scott Street. Scott Street.
Scott Street.
Scott Street. Skirk. I really like Demi Moore.
Oh yeah, that one's a classic.
Literally nothing like what it sounds like.
Love Phoebe Bridgers.
Dude, I was so upset they were playing. There's a station at work that plays Phoebe Bridgers, and it pisses me off because I'm like, she deserves better to be played here.
Yeah, what song? I'm curious.
Motion Sickness and then Kyoto.
Wow.
So I was like, wow, okay, fucking.
Yeah.
I was a little upset because I was like, she deserves better than to be played on this radio station. at work.
Corporation system. Yeah. At least you don't have to listen to the song Mellow Yellow
Oh, God.
500 times.
Do they ever? So like today, someone put on the station that was all covers. Do they ever? You ever listen to that one at work? It's the worst.
Yeah, because there was like a White Stripes rendition. It was like jazz.
Yeah, and then there was like a male cover of like a Taylor Swift song
Oh yeah.
of Bad Blood.
Oh yes.
And I was like, what the fuck are we listening to? I was like, I would rather not have music playing,
Yeah.
like, period.
Do you think they program music into stores in order for you to affect something in your brain to buy more? Like, do you think they play certain type of music?
Yeah, I buy into that.
Yeah.
Literally, I buy stuff because I'm hearing music.
I mean, like, I think it'd be easy to, like, at a record store, right? Like Amoeba.
Right.
It's like, they play good music.
Yeah.
Most of the time. Like, every time I walk in, I'm
Well,
like,
yeah.
that's good music. And
Those
they
people
kinda-
have taste.
Yeah,
The
they do
people
have
who work
taste.
there, so.
It's like curated, selected music
Right.
to play on them.
I want to know who makes, because it is a corporation, I wonder who makes the playlists.
Yeah.
Because I want to know who is like, I'm going to put Phoebe Bridgers in this playlist. Because I guarantee you it's just because she started blowing up.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, especially like, because like Motion Sickness, I'm like, if you listen to like that whole album, I'm like, this isn't an album that you would want to play at a retail store. Like,
Yeah, no. And then I wonder who would pick songs like Mellow Yellow and whether or not like they're alive and well or if they're dead.
or if they're
dead.
dead.
I mean, someone's got to stop it. Someone's got to stop it.
And I don't want to wish,
Yeah,
death on
they're
them, but
perfectly fine, but like,
maybe.
but
If they
need to
weren't,
stop. They need to stop. The lineage needs to end.
it ends now. I just walk into HQ. I'm like,
No more mellow yellow.
bring me your curator. No more mellow
It's
yellow.
like some guy, an old man in the back with glasses, got like a tweed jacket.
Yeah.
He's holding a dusty book. He's like, I'm the curator.
And I'm like, except I'm in Texas, so I'm like, this is fine.
Yeah. Texas is like, woo!
Woo!
Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh my god, okay, I'm gonna get my second White Claw.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. We'll make sure this is still going. Oh! That's my lock screen. Oh my god, it's been 15 minutes already.
What? That's so strange. It feels like the shortest one. Or one of the shorter ones.
Well, I think that's enough.
That is enough.
Because I'm gonna drink this White Claw and we're gonna film something else.
A game. Life is Strange episode 2?
Yes.
Okay, I
We're
need
gonna
to-
do commentary. Well,
I need to download it.
okay.
I shouldn't take long. I said I need to download it. It won't take long.
So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do some commentary. We're just finding our footing. This is my second White Claw, so the commentary will probably get really good.
Get better.
Just saying. So, well, thanks for watching. This one was jam-packed with stuff that was not video game related, but I think it was fun.
It was good. It was like just us chatting after work, which is what it was originally intended.
Exactly. That's why it's the after school special. The after school special.
It's the after school special.
Yes, Club. How could I forget? I came up with the name.
My ass.
But yeah, that's what we're trying to curate. Is we just got out of school and we just want to hang out and be friends.
Yeah.
I
TV's full on us.
thought you said MTV, and I was like, yeah, I used to play MTV.
Yeah, me too. Capri Sun, MTV.
And that's that.
That's that. Capri Sun, MTV.
Bye.
Bye.